Hey there, it's Dusty Thunder again with another AITA story for you. This one is, am I the astronaut for finally telling my mother-in-law that her mac and cheese tastes terrible? My husband, 30 male, and I, 28 female, have been married for 2 years, together for 5 years, and currently 6 months pregnant. We're very excited and blessed because I've had some complications in getting pregnant. I have a very good relationship with my in-laws, and if any of us ever had a problem, we are able to talk it through. Except one thing. My mother-in-law has her famous mac and cheese that everyone in her family absolutely loves. I, however, found it disgusting on day one, but didn't want to come off as rude and ungrateful, so I pulled through it without saying anything. I told my husband about it, and he said that his mother has been making it for decades, perfecting the recipe, and she would be deeply offended if anybody ever told her anything bad about her mac and cheese, so I should just find the right moment to tell her. He, for some reason, loves it, so he didn't want to be the one to tell her, which I totally understand because it is my issue and I have had to deal with it. It's been almost 2 years of me pretending. So 2 days ago, I've decided to just tell her. It was a family dinner where my husband's parents had invited us to come over, and of course, his mother was making her so-called famous mac and cheese. I almost threw up at the smell, and I couldn't bear the thought of eating it, probably because I was pregnant. So at dinner, when I was offered the mac and cheese, I politely declined and said, "No, thank you." My mother-in-law looked at me and asked, "Why? You should eat. Good for the baby." And I just went right out with, "I'm sorry, but I don't like your mac and cheese. Everything else tastes delicious, but this is the one thing that I simply cannot eat anymore." She looked so deeply offended, and she literally snapped, "Well, thanks for being honest," and didn't even look or speak to me for the rest of the evening. My husband was on my side and tried to speak to his mother, but all I know is that it didn't work because she has been cold to me ever since. What was wrong with the mac and cheese? Her perfecting the recipe ended up with this result. Mac and cheese combined with salmon, kimchi, pineapple, seaweed salad, collard green, onions, and garlic. I don't have a problem with the greens or onion, but the rest tastes so disgustingly wrong with mac and cheese. However, the reason why I think I might have been an asshole is because, like my husband said, she has been perfecting this recipe for years. Her entire family loves it, and I tell her that her perfected and loved mac and cheese is terrible. Am I the asshole? Edit, I did tell her that because I'm pregnant, it wasn't possible for me to stomach the ingredients, but she still didn't want to talk to me. Another edit, I'm French and my husband's family is Korean, so that will explain the ingredients. I do enjoy salmon, kimchi, and seaweed salads, but it greatly depends on which dishes it's served with. And since I've been pregnant, I've even developed an aversion to several foods that I used to love. So the question is, am I the asshole for finally telling my mother-in-law that her mac and cheese tastes terrible? Here's where I'm confused. She didn't tell her mac and cheese tasted terrible. What she said was, "I'm sorry, but I don't like your mac and cheese. Everything else tastes delicious, but this is the one thing I simply cannot eat anymore." That's what she said. She didn't say, "It's disgusting." She didn't say, "It's terrible." She didn't say, makes me want to vomit." She didn't say any of that. She said, "This is the one thing I simply cannot eat anymore." So it's less harsh than she's portraying it to be, at least if this scenario is accurate that we've been presented with here. Also, not everybody likes the same damn thing. It's pretty simple to be like, yeah, it just doesn't hit my taste buds right. It's a me problem. Like, I get it. It's a me problem. Everybody else loves it. I'm sure it's lovely, but for whatever reason, my taste buds just don't get it. Or COVID screwed up taste buds for tons of people. And she says this has been 2 years. Well, the timing kind of gives you an out there so that you can say, yeah, it's probably a COVID thing. It screwed up my taste buds, and this thing that probably before then would have tasted great to me, it hits me wrong. It's pretty easy to say that without somebody taking it personally, but OP didn't say it was terrible here. She said, "I'm sorry, it's just, this is the one thing I cannot eat anymore," and she's pregnant. So you would think that there would be an inference there that it is due to the pregnancy, but mother-in-law here still got defensive about it. So I don't know. The question is, am I the astronaut for finally telling my mother-in-law that her mac and cheese tastes terrible? I mean, there are options. There are plenty of options, but what she said to me wasn't even harsh. It's just like, it's just not my thing. Well, I mean, there are some cultural differences here, so that accounts for a lot of it here, but I don't think it's that hard to be like, you know what? It just doesn't tickle my fancy. You know what I mean? I'm a picky eater. I'd probably give it a shot because pretty much everything that was mentioned in there is something that I would eat. So I'll be like, yeah, I'm like Joey when it comes to food. It's the traditional English trifle. It's like beef, good. Peas, good. Custard, good. Put them all together. It's fine with me. It's going to end up together down here anyway. That's fine. Again, it's like I'm probably a little more adventurous when it comes to that kind of thing. OP, in this case, I don't feel like came across harsh. NTA. And the pregnancy is an easy out there. You did tell her it was terrible. You said it's the one thing you cannot eat anymore. And the way that you said that to me sounds like, oh, it's because you're pregnant, right? Yeah, there's a lot of things she could have said to soften the blow there, but I don't think she said anything that insulted the dish or her cooking or anything. It was on mother-in-law to take it personally. And I understand that. It's her very personal. She has ownership over this recipe. I get it, but I don't feel like OP did anything that was offensive here at all.